people turning in from Canada, and good afternoon in London, and it's good evening here in Perth, in Australia. Welcome to the Greatness Engineering Hour show. My name is Mireille Tulekima. I'm your host today. I'm the founder of the Mireille Tulekima Global Leadership Organization, an organization that empowers individuals. And we actually inspire them to define and take control of their own success. And we inspire them to become the best that they can be. So what we do, we provide them with a sustainable and authentic development approach that they can use to create, their own destiny and their own life, and build their life on their own term. So today I'm very happy. I have two amazing women, two very busy women, and I know that we're going to learn a lot from them. I have Anita Francis from the UK, and Anita is based, she's based in the UK, and she's currently the president and founder of the Women Empowerment Network. And it's called as well the Global Empowerment Women Summit, and it's she also chair an elite network club linked to this venture. She's a serial entrepreneur with over 15 years experience, and she's been running several businesses and I've been very successful running them. So I will let Anita, introduce herself later in more details, and we will certainly learn a lot from her, as her organization is growing every day. We also have Tamara Parris. She's based in Canada, and Tamara is very passionate about creating healthy and safe homes and workplaces, and she started as a social worker in the 90s. And she was helping immigrants adjust to Canada life and Toronto homeless population. So she's right now, her interest is in health and safety, and she also work a lot with women in that space. So she'll get the opportunity as well to introduce herself properly. So Tamara and Anita, welcome. Welcome to the Greatness Engineering Show. I'm very honored to have you as guests today, and I thank you for taking the time to spend an hour with me and my audience today. So I'm going to ask you, and I'll start with Anita. Can you please introduce yourself to the audience in a bit more detail? We really want to know who you are, what you're doing, and how you came to do what you do, and how you started. So we really want to have an insight on that. Okay. Anita, the floor is yours.
Okay, right. We've only got an hour. So I have to be quick because I've been told by my husband I can talk forever. So I have to be quite quick.
That's fine. I think you'll have the time to do that. We have an hour. It's quite a lot, an hour, I think.
Okay, right. So thank you for the introduction. Yes, my name's Anita Francis, and I am the CEO and the founder of a global network called Global Empowerment Women Summit and the Elite Network Club. Basically, I'm based in the UK, but what's happened is I started this company around about 2 years ago, and it's just grown so fast, so quick. And when I started the company, I'm not new to business. So I started my first business when I was 24. So I've made all my mistakes in my 20s and my early 30s, made all the mistakes, and now I'm in my early 40s. I do not make the same mistakes. So so over 15 years of running several businesses, successful businesses. I'm now today a property entrepreneur alongside running an e-commerce business, which I'm launching next year, as well as obviously running my Global Empowerment Women Summit clubs all around the world. So I had this idea to start I wanted to do I wanted a business where I can inspire and empower women around the world. That was the whole idea. And I didn't know how I was going to do it. I just knew I wanted to do that. I had a calling to do that. And so I decided the original plan, we were going to do summits just all around the world, just summits, nothing else, no clubs, nothing like that, just summits. But what happened was, because of obviously my experience in business, I knew that wasn't sustainable. So hence why, underneath the umbrella of Global Empowerment Women Summit, we've had to bring in the Elite Network Club. And this is the membership club, global membership club that women buy into from around the world. So we started off in Birmingham, UK last year, and it's just spread so fast, so quick. And we should be in 15 countries by next year. So yeah, it's been amazing, an amazing journey.
Mm-hmm. It's been amazing to watch, because I mean, I connected with you and I see, all this beautiful extension. You were in Morocco just recently, and then in the UK itself. So it's really amazing how things are going with this network. We'll come back to it. I just want to introduce Tamara. Tamara, just, let us know as well, introduce yourself to the audience, what you've done, and how you basically travel your journey to reach the point where you are right now.
Well, first, thank you very much for having me on the show. It's phenomenal. And that is an amazing story that you shared with us, Anita, about your success.
Oh, thank you.
Kudos to you.
Mm-hmm.
Hats
Thank
off.
you.
And I
Thank
wish
you.
your growth for your organization globally. Just keep on going. I am also on social media. I'm the owner of EHS Professionals. It's a health and safety group for professionals who are doing workplace safety. And much like yourself, I started out small, and little by little over the years, we have grown the group, and it's now 140,000 members strong. So just keep on going with your passion, and that's how you grow things. You're right. I did start my beginnings way back in the 90s in social work, helping newcomers to Canada, as well as those who are homeless. And my trip into health and safety was actually when I had taken a sabbatical to go travel a bit, and I lived in Honduras. And when I was there, I was helping in university. I had a wonderful professor, Marvin Novick, who talked about life chances and life opportunities, where we pay it forward. And so when I was there, I paid it forward because I had strong technical skills in business in order to teach other women how to use the Microsoft suite. And while in there, I also helped two individuals start a satellite business. And we were putting up the satellites on somebody's house who just happened to be a health and safety manager. And so that's how I got into that world. And I didn't know about health and safety before that. And that was a good 15 years of working. So now my passion is bringing awareness to other people in the public that there is something called health and safety in your workplace, and that we do have rights.
So that's amazing, and I see the similarity, starting very small and then starting from really something that you're passionate about, not actually knowing where it's going to bring you, but still putting the passion, putting the time, and growing your network and growing your venture. And that's really what it's all about. So I mean, obviously, going through that, going through this growth, you went through failures and very low moment. So I just want to know, how did you pull yourself through all of this? And you can actually talk about a particular experience, professional or personal. What did you use? What process? What was the rhetoric that you had, and that actually helped you to really say, no, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going forward. So Anita, how did you do that?
Okay, I mean, with anything in business and in life in general, there's always ups and downs. It's like a roller coaster. Nothing remains the same. And my late dad said to me, and it's always stuck with me, is one thing which is guaranteed in life, is change. Okay, so nothing ever remains the same. Things are always evolving, things are always changing. So I've always bear that in mind. And like I said, life is a roller coaster. You have good days, you have bad days. I do say though, I'm very lucky, I'm very fortunate. I have a very supportive family. You know, my husband, we've been together now 25 years. So he's my rock. He really is. You know, I'm all about, you know, women empowerment and that sort of thing. But I always say this, you know, my husband's my king, I'm the queen. You know, we work together in partnership, and it's just, it's a lovely balance. So I'm very fortunate to have that sort of support. So the days when I feel down and I'm thinking, oh, I don't know if I can do this, he's always there to pick me up, which is very nice. So, but in the answer to your question, yes, he's my rock, but I'm also a very strong woman. I really am. I always say that I think I have an ancestor, a very strong ancestor in me, very strong, determined ancestor in me. And I don't know if you believe in star signs, but I'm a Capricorn, and a Capricorn is, well, my birthday is January the 15th. So that's Martin Luther King's birthday. And I'm a goat, and with a goat, what they tend to do, they're always trying to climb the mountain to get to the top. So they may slide back down, but they're determined to get to the top. So I'm everything of a Capricorn. And but no, I always keep my eye on the end goal, and that with the support of my husband, and obviously keeping an eye on the end goal. I know that I've got a purpose to serve on this earth. That pulls me up. It really does. And like I said, you know, seeing all the women around the world, you know, connecting together, doing business together, it's beautiful. It really touches my soul, because that was the main aim for me starting this business. So yeah, so they keep me going. I say the women, the women keep me going.
Yeah, that's good. And it's, I mean, it's beautiful, because especially I like your point about, even if I'm all about women empowerment, I actually have the support of a man, you know, my husband. And that's really good, because women empowerment is not about excluding men. It's actually working together with them. So we need them in this pursuit to empowerment. And it's important that we women understand that, and we don't create a barrier. So, I mean, a couple of points as well, you have to be strong as well yourself. So get the right support, but you have to be strong and very focused on where you want to be, you know. And so that's, thank you for reminding us those really strong points. Anita, what about you? What has been really, you know, your tools and your rock, or everything that actually sustain you on your way to what you're doing right now?
Okay, didn't hear that. Oh, sorry, Tamara. Sorry, didn't hear that. Sorry, didn't hear who was that aimed for. Sorry.
It was Anita. Yep, you're right.
Was it me? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So if you repeat the question, because I didn't hear that. Could you repeat the question? Oh, she disappeared.
Well, that's okay, because I'm going to just jump in and kind of add some thoughts about life is a roller coaster, because that symbolism that you used, Anita, was so beautiful. And to add to that from my life experiences, you know, I have a bit of a different path than the two of you, because I am a single mom. And so getting the supports comes in a different way when you're a single parent. And one of the things that I would really, if I was to do life all over again, it's about choosing those supports around you and those friends, and making sure that you really have the kind of people that when stuff goes down and the roller coaster's at the bottom, you've got positive, supportive people who will keep you energized and motivated. And the naysayers, get them out of your life. What's your thoughts about that, Anita?
Oh, so true. Very, very true. You've got to, I only surround myself with positive energy, positive people. Anything that's toxic, negative, I don't involve myself in at all. You know, I've got a background in health and well-being as well, and it's, for me, I believe in law of attraction and everything is energy. So, and I always go with my gut feeling. You know, if something's not right, it's not right for a reason. So, and this is why I believe the company has energy. If you're putting out positive energy, this is what you're going to attract back. So yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
I do agree.
And you know, I was watching, Oprah has a new show called Sunday Souls. And I was watching her one day, and she's just amazing how sometimes when she says things, it's like she's speaking right at you. Because I am a tremendous giver, you know. And unfortunately, I was one of those people who didn't understand that there's takers. So for a long time in the world, I was kind of lost because I was giving and these people would take, and then you get so exhausted. And her gift was to ask why. It's okay to give. It's absolutely fine to give, but what is the why behind your giving? And is it balanced?
So, I mean, it's, and you know, it's good to remind us, like what Anita was saying, that it's all about energy. So if you have to find this balance, because if you give too much, that's not good. If you don't give at all, that's not good. So you have to find this balance that can actually sustain you and help you to grow. And which leads to my next question is that, you know, in your ventures, you have to connect with people. You have to make sure that you connect to the right people. So what are the tips that you use to actually get to the right people and get to the people who are actually going to give you this positive energy and help you to be balanced, to continue to grow as a business or as a person? Tamara, if you can help us on that.
Yeah, I'll kick that question off. You know, it's interesting that you're asking me this question at this time in my life, because I've just done some really big transitioning from being in a culture of where a lot of people in my core group of management were very naysayers. And it was just so eroding for wanting to continue. And then I met a group of people who were motivational, supportive, saying, give it a try. What's the worst can happen? You know, we're a team. We'll all work on it together. Some things work and some things don't. And so I think it's really about, you know, you have the right to choose who you want in your life when it comes to creating your own success. And if you want to be successful, a big key to that is having other people who you're their cheerleader and they're your cheerleader. So it's a two-way street. And through the transition of removing the naysayers and the people who are saying that's not possible, and bringing in the yes-sayers and let's try and figure it out. You know, I have started my own podcast. I have motivated a friend to write her own book. I've helped somebody else promote their own book. They've helped me promote my own self-confidence. These are the gifts that you get when you surround your people with love.
So that's exactly right, and I love the fact that you decide who you want in your life, because that's something that sometimes we forget, that we have this power. We are on the driving seat, and we don't have to wait for somebody to approve us or to give us a stamp to say, okay, you can do it or you cannot do it. It's really about us. It's really about what we want to accomplish, and it starts with us. And it's a very powerful statement. What do you think, Anita, about that?
If you could repeat the question, sorry.
The question was, I mean, obviously you've been, in your venture connecting with people, and like you were saying, you don't want to be surrounded by, the negative energy. And so I was asking that, how do you make sure you select the right people, you know, you connect with the right people who are going to help you to grow as a person or to grow your business?
Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, my background again is how can I say, I've done so many things throughout my life, and one of those included is recruitment. So my degree is in actually marketing and HR. It's a joint degree. So, and if you know anything about HR, human resources, it's all about people, dealing with people. So the skills that I've learned from my previous job is, people are your assets. People are everything. You treat them well, and it'll come back to you. So in regards to when I'm finding someone, it is quite difficult. And I'm going to be honest with you. Even though I'm a very positive person, sometimes you've got people in this world that take your positivity and turn it around for their own little hidden agendas. Okay, and that has happened to me. I have come across a lot of people that are not honest and authentic in why they are connecting with me. So you can't get away from that, but what I tend to do now, I do my due diligence a lot more deeper, because what it is, I tend to run with my heart, which is when you when you put your heart into anything, emotion into anything, believe it or not, it then sort of, your brain then becomes quite frazzled, to be quite honest, and you're not thinking straight, because you're just going with your heart and your emotion. So it's a little bit dangerous to do that. So now my husband has to always say to me, Anita, yes, you're a kind person and all that sort of thing, but at the end of the day, you don't want people to sort of do horrible things to you. So I want them to be genuine. So I tend to do now my due diligence a lot more deeper than I did before. And so far, so good. So I've got rid of the toxic energies that no longer serve me. and I've continued down this powerful journey. So yeah.
And I'm laughing because when you said, you tend to, use more your heart. And I think a lot of us, especially, it's kind of a feminine things to do, is that even when we run business, we put our heart first. And it actually put us in difficult situations sometimes. So we need to learn to, dissociate, especially when we do business, the heart with really, running the business and making sure that we have the right people around us, because we can actually put ourselves in a very vulnerable, place.
Yeah.
And that's very dangerous. So thanks for sharing that. So I mean, just to follow in the same, in the same thought process, what do you think has helped you, in your, I mean, if I can call you your success today? What are the key things you think that we should, pay attention to, and what you think are, the key roadblock to really, be aware of? Tamara.
Well, I guess for me, it was really breaking a cultural norm from my past and my upbringing. I came from a privileged background, a privileged family, and which was wonderful in many ways, because I got a great education. I got to travel and see the world. It was really wonderful. However, one of the stories that were consistently told as little girls is that we are to be seen and not heard. You put on the pretty dress and you're kind of more like a doll. That you be quiet, and whatever happens, you just kind of smile and shake your head, and you just let it, roll off your back in a very classy way, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
And so for me as a woman, and I'm 50 years old now, and it's taken me this long to finally break that and say, no, you know what? I don't have to just smile and be a little China doll and pretend that everything is fabulous. If somebody is disrespectful to me, I have the choice to say, I'm not going to allow that in my life. And I'm not saying be rude about it. I'm saying assess it and make choices to figure out how to strategically remove yourself from that situation. Maybe it's going to take you a few years, if it's a job or something. It doesn't always happen overnight, but at least if you have that in your head, it brings an inner strength of knowing that you can do something about it, even if it's a long-term plan. Anita, you're shaking your head also. Do you have some stories around that?
Yes, Anita, we'll love to hear about. I'd love to hear about you as well.
Sorry, it's been a long week. I'm still recovering from all the traveling. Yeah.
So you want me to repeat the question? So the question was actually, you've traveled all this way, you've had so many experience, and so I just want to know what are, the tips that you use, the success tip for you to have been able to reach the point that you are, and what are the key roadblocks you think we should, tell the audience to watch out based on the journey that you've traveled?
Yeah, it's a hard one, because the thing is, like I said, going back to what I mentioned before in regard with leading with your heart. Now, I think, I'm sure it was Oprah that said this. I shared it on my post, and it was about focus, being focused. And her money was never her main focus. And that's what she put in her post. Never the main focus. And that's that's what it's like for me. My main focus is not money. That is not my main focus. My main focus is, how can I help? That's my main my focus is, how can I help? And what I realized by doing that, the money does follow, if that makes sense, because I'm running a company. It's a profitable company. If I'm not making a profit, then I have no business. So my business model has to be sustainable in order for me to serve my purpose. So me traveling around the world, connecting women together, inspiring women, then there's a cost to that. I don't jump on a plane, it's not free. I wish it was, it's not free, it does cost money. So I have to make a profit in order to continue my good work. But money isn't my main focus. It's always just come, because it's all about helping. How can I help that person? So by me having that as the main goal, the main aim is, how can I help, is it's made me continue this journey that I'm on, that's just going absolutely crazy. Because again, back to the energy, it's what I'm putting out, it's a good energy, it's I'm not just focused on money, it's how we can help each other grow, and because of that reason, it is why I am where I am today. But it's really difficult to say. How can I say, in regards to being successful, what is successful? I always have to ask that question of, what is successful to you? How do you determine success? I'm not a millionaire yet, but does that mean I'm not successful?
And it's
yeah.
It's a very good question, because at the end of the day, for me, success is personal. It doesn't have to be about money. Especially for you, money is not the focus. So you have your own definition of success, and wherever you are, you are successful because you follow what you believe in. And that's why I'm asking this question, is that, you might not be a millionaire, but you've actually achieved something that's actually tremendous, and that's a success. So really, that's how I look at it. Yeah. So,
people measure success in different ways. I believe I was successful even before this, because I'm blessed. We're blessed with 3 beautiful daughters, 2 handsome sons, and a grandson. So to me, I'm successful because, you know, I've got my family, and you know, that was a goal for me. And yeah, but everybody measures success in different ways. Money to me doesn't define success at all, you know. So, but that's my
exactly, so that's and it's good, and that's why, you know, I always ask this question, that's so people understand that it's actually very personal, you know, the definition of success and whatever purpose that we put, I mean, we are pursuing. It's not about people imposing something on us. It starts with us being really, you know, authentic and following what we think it's our purpose. And in that way, we can become successful. So it doesn't have to be about money. It doesn't have to be about material things. It can be about, like you said, you know, connecting people, or about, you know, breaking barriers, like, you know, what Tamara was saying, that she had to break this barrier, this, you know, unconscious bias that she's involved into, to be able to be successful and really do what she wants. So it's really, you know, something that I like to talk about, and I always try to make sure that, you know, people understand that, and that, you know, we have a different definition of success. So, I mean, very, you know, very powerful. Tamara, do you want to add something? I saw that you're nodding as well. So just, you know, just tell us.
Yeah, I'd like to give our listeners, I'd like to give our listeners something tangible to actually take away from our conversation today, that they can actually go out and do 10 minutes after the show, during the weekend, whatever it is. New Year's is coming. You know, what I always do is I take a huge piece of paper and stick it on the wall. It's usually about 6 feet by 5 feet. I mean, it's big. And what I do is I start drawing out where I'd like to be. What would I like to be in the future, right? In one area. And I do like pillars, kind of concepts. And it's different for everybody. It comes from inside, right? And I write a few concepts on there. And then I start drawing connections about this is where I want to get to. What do I have in my life, or what do I need in my life in order to get to that? You know, and I'd be willing to take a picture of mine and share it with you so you can post it later, so people can kind of see that. And you can get creative. You can put pictures on it. You can draw pictures. You can use different colorings, you know, to express yourself. It's just really an internal way of kind of getting it out there. Because once you make a statement out in the world, you're more likely to follow through on whatever success is to you.
Is it a bit like the vision board? It's where so that's a kind of vision board as well. And another, I think if I can add another thing, is also, you know, making sure that you visualize what you really want, and really start to put focus on that. It's also very powerful. I don't know if you have another tool, Anita, that you would recommend apart from that.
So it's vision board. It's a vision board. And everyone's different. This is what I mean. If that helps you to achieve your goal, then fantastic, you know, go for it. And for me, I am a natural visionary, and that's the honest truth. You know, I'm always vision. If I can't vision it, then that means I can't achieve it. And that's the honest truth. So it always starts with me with a vision. I'm always thinking. And I used to say many years ago, when I was 19, that I'm going to be successful. And I knew I was going to be successful, and I could feel it. You know, if I could put my hand out and touch it, you know, I that's how much I felt I knew I was going to be successful. And that was at the age of 19. So I'm always being a visionary. I'm always thinking. And so I'm just naturally that way. And that's the honest truth. I'm naturally that way. But for others, they, you know, if they need a vision board, that's fantastic. You know, my daughter, my eldest daughter, would need a vision board because she doesn't naturally vision things, so she needs to write it down and put color. She's very creative, which is amazing, you know. So everybody's different in their own different way.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
And it's important that each one of us do this reflection to know what type of person I am, and then you can identify the gaps and how you can go about, you know, improving yourself and growing as a person. This is my favorite question to my guests is, what do you expect from the future and what legacy do you want to leave? I mean, you've traveled this way, you've accomplished so many things. I'm sure you're not done. So what is your expectation for the future, and what legacy do you really want to leave in this world and in your environment? Tamara.
Well, I'm on the path of I'm on the path right now of achieving that mega final, you know, kind of imprint that before I retire, I want to leave, and that is really creating an opportunity for those in the health and safety industry profession to have a global community that is very supportive, people that they connect and can do projects with, collaborate with. You know, I've seen some really great things happen in our safety community on LinkedIn right now, where more people are doing videos, more people are doing posts of collaboration. And so that's really great, because it's been one of the things that for the last year I've been kind of nurturing along in the background. And one of the things, and Anita, I'm sure both of you have felt this, is sometimes when you're nurturing things in the background, it can take a while for it to actually bubble up and show. And so you get into those down places where you wonder, are you ever making any movement? And I want to do a shout out to Jamie Young, who, you know, is the individual who has been so supportive, and Scott Cuthbert too, who've been so supportive in just kind of cheering me on to keep on going, because now we're seeing the rewards of a lot more people posting and that kind of community aspect in our area of LinkedIn coming back, which it had faded for quite a while.
So, and you know, you're right. It's like when you started something and then you keep on pushing, you feel really overwhelmed, you know, and you know, you need somebody, you need, you know, your why to remind you why you started all of this, to really push before you can get the breakthrough. And especially, I mean, in the safety and you know, health environment, it's always been very technical. So it's difficult to attract people because they really put, you know, a barrier, because they look at, oh, it's too technical, so I'm not going to really, you know, get involved and try to do anything. So it's good that people like you actually come out and really, you know what, we need to talk about it. It's important for everybody, and get involved. So please connect with Tamara at some point and make it happen. Anita.
I wanted to just add one last thought on that, is that with legacy too, I think it's very important that it needs to be sustainable, that once you've departed, that's the key part. And I think that's what I'm seeing with what you're building also, Anita, is that when it's time that Anita does kind of do another thing in her life cycle, that these things that we're doing, they will have a life of their own.
Yes.
So it doesn't end with you. You start the process, you involve yourself, but you have to make sure that there's a future after you, and that's the difficult part that you it's sometimes you know, difficult to establish. So Anita, I want to hear about, you know, your point. Obviously, there've been a lot said, but what do you really expect, you know, from the future, and what legacy do you want to leave?
Yeah, I put something out the other day on, because my main platform is Facebook. So I put quite a few things out on there, and I did put something out there in regards to legacy. You know, sometimes people don't think that, do they? They don't sit down and think, what is their legacy? And for me, I've always wanted to make a change. Okay, that's what I've always wanted to do. So when it's time for me to leave the planet Earth to continue down my journey, at least I know I've done something good and I've made a change. And yes, in regards to what I am doing, I believe that will be my legacy, because I forgot to say that I also run a non-profit organization called Inspire Girls Rock. And what that organization is about inspiring and empowering the next generation of global female leaders. So I've got 3 daughters. So, you know, my legacy will live on throughout them anyway. But I also want to put all that positive energy out there to the next generation and to all the female entrepreneurs out there to dream big. And you just don't know when it's time for you to leave planet Earth. You know, I always say tomorrow's never promised. So live every day like it's your last, and just help people and enjoy life. So so to me, I always say, if you know, I would touch wood, if I was going to pass and tomorrow, then I'm happy. I'm really happy, you know, because I feel like I've started something that will continue to grow. So yeah.
And that's beautiful, because you know, you just realize that yes, you came into this life, but it's not just about you. You know, you have a mission, you have a journey, and it's not just about you. There's a bigger, you know, it's bigger than you, and that's very interesting. That's very good to you know, it's important to understand that, and live, you know, your life that way, believing that, you know, it's not about you. Find a bigger purpose, and really, you know, start to help people and start to connect and start to add value, because that's really the most important part, the most important thing that we're talking about here. I just, you know, we went through all of this and it's been tremendous. Just want to know what is your, you know, the last message that you want to leave to the audience, and let us know if there's something happening that you know, an event or something particular that you want to tell the audience, you know, about. Tamara.
Thank you very much for having us on the show. It's been phenomenal. It was a pleasure to meet you both. I think my last thought that I'd want to leave out with the audience is success is an internal thing, and the biggest favor you can do yourself is not to compare yourself with other people and what their benchmark of success is. It took a long time for me to understand that one, but I definitely am happier and more at peace with my internal self now that I've gotten to that part of the journey. You know, I do have a Woman in Safety podcast. It's safetywithpurpose.com is where you can find that. And I'm so happy to announce that Safeopedia will be doing our first conference in Safety Focus 2020. So watch out for more of that. That's our big news for the year.
Fantastic.
Compare yourself to other people. You know, success is personal, so make sure that you realize that, and please connect with Tamara on the event that she should be running soon. And so you can find her, I think, in every single social media platform, and she should be very happy to connect with you. Anita, your last word, and anything happening in your space. I know there's a lot happening, so I want you to share.
Is that a trick question?
It's a question, yes. So you told me at the beginning that you can really talk, so that's your time to really, explain to us a little bit more of what's coming, and and also help our audience with your last word.
Of course. Yeah. Okay. Well, basically, I'm very disciplined with my time, because I have been that woman where I'm working all 365 days of the year, and not getting much time off, and I refuse to do that, because, as I said, I've got a health and well-being background, and I used to run my own health and well-being company. And well-being is, I've disciplined myself. I'm on holiday from December right through to February. It's my time to sort of sit down and reflect and strategize going forward. As you know, with a woman who runs her own business, they never switch off. They do not switch off. But I do refuse to go out and meet people, have meetings, take calls. I tend to do a lot of work online. And we always fly over to our second home in Portugal, and I spend time with the kids, with my husband. That's our time. So I'm very disciplined with that. So in regards to what's coming up next, oh my life, I'm traveling a lot. I always say, be careful what you wish for out there, ladies. Be careful what you wish for, because whatever you wish for, dreams can come true. And I can't complain, because I actually manifested this thought, and I'm doing what I said I wanted to do. So we've got a lot of plans, a lot of clubs launching. 15. We'll be launching into 15 countries next year. We'll be launching, as well as our summits over in Australia, which I can't wait, because I can't wait to get to Australia. And I'm in talks now. Yeah, so I'm in talks now for Toronto as well. So we're holding our summit over there next year. So a lot to plan, so much to plan. So if anyone follows me on social media, I am on all the platforms: YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Insta. I'm all of them. But my main platform is actually Facebook. So please connect with me on there, and you can definitely see what I'm up to.
Yeah, she's fantastic, and and I like this. Okay, you have to be disciplined. And I talk to women here. We do and we juggle with so many things. Single woman or married woman, we're just always busy. So we need to know, and busy helping others, and sometimes we forget ourselves. So we need to take the time to think about ourselves, take time to reflect on what we really want, even if it's about everybody. But we need to be in a good space so that we can help people as well, and switch off at some point. So it's been tremendous to have you two, and we were very blessed, and we learned so much. And thanks for your insight. It's been really tremendous. And to the audience, I hope you took a lot of notes, and you'll be able to take massive action. And remember, success is personal. Make sure you don't actually compare your note to somebody else. It's about your authenticity. It's about your purpose. It's about your vision. It's about your mission. So stay focused and work for that. So thank you very much, and see you next week for another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.